Alright, this is a video about Werewolf and basically stuff that'll enhance your Werewolf and make it better. Getting into PvP or PvE. I'll show you a few tips and pointers how to maximize it and make it everything you want it to be. First off, ideally you want to put your Werewolf on your two-handed bar, because typically your two-handed bar has more weapon damage, and you carry that over into your Werewolf form. As you can see, if I change to my two-hander, it goes to 3178. If you go to dual wield, it's 3285. So ideally you want to keep your Werewolf slotted on the on your two-handed bar. Now, as far as armor goes, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because that was covered in a previous video. But basically what I'm running is 5-piece twice more star, 1 piece heavy, everything else is medium. As I like the critical, and I like the just the stamina recovery and that sort of thing. And I'm also running Lucky's shoulders, Lucky's weapons, and 1 Krog's mask, which is basically there to give me that added penetration. Now, there's a couple things as far as the food goes. I like to use the Tri-Stat food. Now, this works as well, but it doesn't give you as much magic or healing or health to go along with that. Something else I'll show you real quick. Going into Werewolf, invoke the Huntsman's Blessing, healing you for 7167. Well, as you see, that number is that's what your Hal's going to heal you for. Okay. If I was to go ahead and use the Tri-Stat food, currently my health, or my magicka, is at 11,668. Now as I eat this stuff, all of a sudden it's up to almost 16,000. Let's see what happens over here. My Hershey's Rage, all of a sudden now it heals me for 8253. Pretty significant bump up as far as the healing goes. Not only that, my health is up quite a ways as well. And in Cyrodiil it's even more. I think it's like about 4,000 or 5,000 more in Cyrodiil. That really helps as well. The downside is you don't have the stamina regeneration. But with that said, the Werewolf, once you get into form and you start using heavy attacks as needed, you know, along with all your other skills, will return a lot of stamina to you. I think I'm returning almost 2,500 stamina for every heavy attack, so really you get like 44,000 stamina or something like that in Werewolf form. I'll show you in a minute exactly, but it starts to matter a whole lot less once you become a werewolf. Now as far as the skills that I like to use, there's 2 morphs for this. Here's the Werewolf Berserker, and then there's the pack leader. The pack leader gives you a couple direwolves that follow you around. They don't do a lot of damage at all, but they will distract the enemy, and your heavy attacks will add life to your werewolf form. Now, with that said, this thing here is just crazy as far as damage. Your damage, I'll show you in a second, but your light attacks will really proc for a lot more. So getting into the skills, Feral Pounce is the skill that I use. It deals a good bit of damage. It'll stun the enemy for a few seconds if they were already set off balance. Pouncing from 10 meters away adds 4 seconds to the duration of your werewolf. Bursting Rage, this is the morph to have here because, well, it heals you, but the main thing is it increases your weapon damage by 10% for 20 seconds. So once you howl and you use this thing, it's going to give you 10% added damage. Now, if getting into this spot, if you're in a place where it would be an advantage to use this, the Hersing's Rage power ability will stack with this, so you get 20% here, and you also get another 10% here, so this stacks, and not only that, this gives you critical and a little bit of stamina and stamina regeneration. So in an area where you're not likely to get CC'd, this is really helpful. It really raises your weapon damage. Okay, this one here, Ferocious Roar, this will fear any enemies near you, up to 3 enemies, and setting them off balance for 3.3 seconds. If an enemy is killed while they are feared, other nearby enemies are disoriented and set off balance. The Hell of Agony is the next morph that I use. It is actually, for whatever reason, classified as a projectile, and if you're going against a Dragon Knight and he uses his reflective scale, that can actually be cast back on you, but most of the time that's not an effect or anything, so you can use this pretty much with impunity, and it deals 30% more damage to enemies that are feared. So typically what you want to do is you want to jump them with Feral Pounce, or you want to howl first, jump them with Feral Pounce, fear them with this, and then once they are feared, use this against them. Usually out in PvP land, 2 or 3 shots of this and they're dead. You can get them pretty good. The Claws of Life are really good. It heals you for quite a bit as a werewolf, especially if you hit like 3 or 4 enemies in front of you. This really will heal you for quite a bit. Coming down to your passive abilities, this will help your heavy attacks generate more stamina. Now my stamina right now is almost at 2,500 per hit, so that really helps the stamina situation if you run out or whatever, because your stamina regen isn't all that much, but it really doesn't matter because you can get it back fairly quickly. Now, starting out as a new player, this is probably the skill that you want to have first. the first thing you want to put on your bar is Devour, because you can Devour, stay in werewolf form longer, and level up quicker because of that. This is ideal right here. Blood Rage, while you're in werewolf form, transformation. It has 3 seconds to your time every time you take damage, so if you're in a battle, basically you don't have to worry that much about not being able to stay a werewolf. You can stay a werewolf all the time that you're in battle. You really only have to worry about it once you become out of battle. This allows you to infect another player once a week. Basically, you go to the shrine, you devour them, and then they go to the quest. They go through this little wormhole to a quest, and then they're a werewolf as well. While you're in werewolf form, increases your weapon damage by 18%. Call of the Pack. This reduces the cost of being in werewolf. Basically, if you have enough werewolves in a group that are activated, you can stay werewolf for a long time and not really have to worry about coming out of werewolf form. Okay, getting started. Remember, I can buff up. I won't have these skills once I become a werewolf, but they do carry over. Now, turning into a and I'll go to shrine so that I can stay a werewolf and talk for a little bit longer. As you can see, my skills, the damage has gone up quite a bit. As you can see, now my stamina has increased to about 47k. My max magic is the same, my health is still the same. As you can see, my weapon damage is 3372. Of course, on this build, my focus hasn't really been on weapon damage. I've gone with a shadow, which actually increases my critical damage done by 15%. And I've used a thief as well to increase my critical, so my weapon critical is fairly high right now. Now, as you can see, I'm at 3372 weapon damage and 45% critical. Now if I come out here and I drink a potion, now I'm at 3854 weapon damage and 5% weapon critical. That's at a point it really starts to matter. As you can see, getting into a fight with anything out here, you know, you're going to do a lot of damage. You really will. Just to demonstrate. Let's see, I'm going to wait for this potion to expire. As you can see, I hit that giant for 30k. That was a crit. Basically, from Mount Cyrodiil, I'm going to hit a player probably for about half of that. You know, if 15k crit. A couple hits of that, had a couple critical hits, and they're gone. Basically, what I do, as far as a rotation, and this can apply to PvP or PvE, is I use Feral Pounce. That's my grab closer. I will probably use this first, use that, and then use that to fear him, set him off balance, and then use Howl of Agony against him. And this will hit really hard, especially against feared enemies. You figure 30% more of what I got there, and it turns into some pretty good numbers. If the fight goes any longer, quality of life, as far as heavy attacks, my heavy attacks will restore a lot of stamina, right around 2,500. So you really don't have to worry about running out of stamina or anything like that. If you're in a long run out fight, just start using heavy attacks, and your stamina will come right back up. You can also use that weapon power potion. However, sometimes I like to use this, the essence of immovability. Now you might ask, why would I want to use that? Well, basically, out of Cyrodiil, there's a lot of Night Blades, or Imperial City. Typically, there's a lot of Night Blades, and this way allows you to see them, and allows you to not be CC'd by anything they do, like they'll try to fear you or whatever. You can see them, basically you can kill them most of the time. So I use this kind of gives me an immunity to Night Blades, and I found it to be a real necessary thing out there in Cyrodiil. So, some other potions you can use Essence of Health. That'll help your health, magicka, and stamina recovery. Typically, though, what I like to use is that, as it really gives me a lot more weapon damage. And the other thing that I like to use, and I don't have one of these here, but there's a stamina potion that will it'll allow you to run fast. It's it gives you major expedition. It gives you the weapon power, and when you're in werewolf form, you can really run around fast on that stuff. I don't have any here with me to show you or anything like that, but it's a pretty good thing to have. It's just a lot of fun. So basically, if you remember this, Feral Pounce, Merciless Rage, Ferocious Roar. Now the other one allows your enemies to have that extra 20% weapon damage, but usually they have it anyway. So this one gives you a little bit more. And Howl of Agony, which will damage your enemies another 30% once they're feared. And Cause of Life, that'll help keep you alive. This works out really well. I've had a really good time out there in Cyrodiil with this, or typically the Imperial sewers. I remember just the other day, an AD came up, and he was attacking my partner in a dungeon, and he didn't realize I was there in Werewolf, and he tried to get away. Once he did realize that, but then it was too late for him. Two swats and he was gone. There wasn't even see, this thing does a lot of damage. And most of all, it's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with this thing. Basically, this game has kind of been an outlet for me, as I just like to have fun with it. You know, it typically it's a good pastime. It's a good place to come meet up with friends and do things or whatever. So anyway, I hope this Werewolf build guide helps you, and you can kind of get an idea of what to do. Once you're in this form, it's really hard for you to beat, and it does a lot of damage. You can go through dungeons or whatever and just pretty much destroy everything. So anyway, I guess this will be about the end of the video. I can't think of anything else to really tell you about it. Just remember that everything you do over here and over here will carry over in your werewolf form, and that's what really makes the difference in a werewolf. If you got the right build and the right setup, you can really tear stuff up. So anyway, I guess that's about the end of it. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.